G'day, this is Simon from the Bracketeer back at South OC Cars and Coffee. Not with one car of the week this week, but with in fact 3 cars of the week. These 3 gentlemen have them. Who are you and what did you bring?
My name's Eric. I got a 72 4-door Skyline. Hi, my name's Andy. I have a 72 as well, a 2-door Skyline.
And good morning, everyone. My name's Lorenz, and I've got a 74 Ken Mary Skyline.
The 3 of these things together, you've heard the greater sum than the single. Yeah, that's these cars. Let's swing the camera around and take a look. Now, when I saw one Skyline pull in, and then a second one, and then finally the third one, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. These things have a huge cult following now. How long have you owned this particular car?
I've had this one about 6 years.
Right, and the condition it was in when you bought it?
Pretty rough. Barely running, had just come over from Japan, needed a lot of work.
And there's the cool thing is, of course, given the fact of the age of this, you can drive this as a right-hand drive car, but there's so many nice things about this. I really love the Nissan Inline 6. They've always built a spectacular Inline 6. This one in particular, you're running side draft Webers on it. Were they the factory carburetors that came with it?
No.
And what did it have on it originally?
I believe this had a single downdraft Weber.
Yeah, right. And so that's obviously going to add more horsepower. But clearly, looking at the suspension, you've done a lot of mods to this, which are going to help make the thing handle. But they were a quick little car in their day without that. What have you done to it extra just to give it more horsepower and handling?
Actually, this isn't the original engine. This is a L24.
Okay.
Out of an 82 Maximum.
Oh, really?
So
that's crazy.
Gone through that, rebuilt that, put the triple Webers on it. It's got light and flywheel. You know, a couple little things just to make it a little bit quicker.
That's killer. And you know, the interesting thing is, what I love about that engine is, you had me fooled. I thought that was the original engine in there. The way that you've done it, I love the fact that it looks like it belongs there. It's period correct, yep. which is kind of cool. So, I mean, these cars, a lot of they just flew under the radar for so long, and yet now big cult following and pulling big money. You know, you've owned it for 6 years. I won't ask you what it's worth because that would be rude, but I would hesitate to say you haven't lost any money on this car.
I have not, no sir.
Oh, this is incredible. Look at I just love the back end. It's so imposing. It's just very, very cool. Well, there's our Skyline number 1. Let's move on to Skyline number 2. This one, of course, we're going from a 4-door to a 2-door. Look at this thing here. So let's have a chat about this one. So how long have you owned this particular Skyline?
I would say about, I don't remember exactly, about 5 years.
And did you buy it like this, or did you do the work to it?
On this one, I actually didn't do too much to it, so I bought it like this. So, you know, of course, I did the refresh of the carbs and all that stuff, but otherwise, it's pretty much how I bought it. It's kind of like how they liked it in Japan.
That's very cool. So you imported it yourself, or it was somebody else had already brought it over?
My buddy did.
He
had it for a couple of years. So this has been in the States for a while. He had it for 2 or 3 years, and then I bought him for about 5 years ago. So it's been at least in the States for about 8 years.
That's excellent. Let's pop the hood on this thing too, because this one has the original engine, doesn't it?
Yeah. 20. Yeah.
Which is cool as well.
Which is just slow, but it kind of gives it the characteristics.
I mean, that's part of it, though. I mean, the character of these cars is indisputable, and so look at that. And that's why I said you can see why this tricked me, because you look at this.
It's just, yeah.
So side draft Webers on there, but you look at this engine, you would almost think that it's the same engine. That's why I got tricked with the other one. But what a great looking car. Look at this is not factory.
That's not factory, right? And then this isn't either, but no. Yeah, the block is. Yeah.
The block is as well, which is really cool. Just that great, very typical Japanese interior. Really cool looking car. Just and you know, this fuel filler up here.
Yes, exactly.
And they did that later on too. There were Skylines that right up until the sort of early 80s that we're putting those fuel fillers on the side there.
Side and back.
Right, now let's moving on to the last one over here. Completely different style, as you'll see. Now, in some countries, including Australia, correct me if I'm wrong, this was called a 240K.
That's correct.
Or a 240K GT.
That's correct.
So, GTR Skyline in Japan only, or in other countries as well?
Japan only for this generation. I think they made about a total of 197 of them, so they are the rarest if you get a GTR.
And what year is this again?
This is a 74.
Okay, so and some of the base 240Ks were not actually a particularly quick car. They were a nice looking coupe, but
that's correct. Yeah.
They weren't fast. But in the GTR form, they could certainly hold their own. Can we pop the hood under and have a look at this one as well? So very different styles, very this particular style, particularly I'll just show you those tail lights in the back. They'd gone from those rectangular tail lights to those round tail lights. Looked very different. They didn't seem to be a subtle generational change. Also sort of a more modern interior put in that, obviously with those you can see those little buttons in the seat, which looks absolutely amazing.
Custom made seat that I had done.
Which looks good. Is this the original motor in this one?
No, this is not the original motor. It did come with an L28, but as soon as I took possession about 2 years after that, I've owned the car for about 15 years now.
Right.
And then I had it balanced and blueprinted and ported to up to a 3.2 liter.
Right.
So this is very much a much larger motor than what came in it.
And 4-speed manual as well.
5-speed. 5-speed.
Did it come with a 5-speed?
It did come with a 5-speed.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
So let's just step back and look at these three. It's great to see such a variation of different cars at South OC Cars and Coffee. And these imports to me they've just got such an appeal because they're not something you see every day. So there we have it, our car of the week. And these guys are gonna have to fight over this. That in itself could be a really good video actually. Thanks to Maguire's, they're gonna get to share one of these Maguire's complete kits. In fact, we may bring a couple extra next time they come along and they can grab them. There's a polishing sponge, cleaner wax, scratch remover, car wash, glass cleaner, interior detailer, and that hot shine foam. These beautiful Skyline GTs can be kept in this amazing condition that they are. So congratulations, guys.